Hi everyone and welcome along to your Monday Cook Along. I'm Aine Boyle from Good Food Nutrition. So hopefully you've all had a really good weekend this weekend. And today, obviously being Monday, is a lot of times I find with people on Monday is that they don't really feel like spending that long in the kitchen and they just want something nice and speedy for tea. So I'm going to be showing you how to make my gorgeous Asian chicken skewers with egg fried rice. And you'll see your recipe up on screen now. So your recipe there and all your instructions as well, but I'm going to be running through that as we go through the demo. So, excuse me, this is one of these sort of dishes where, you know, you don't necessarily have to make a chicken. You can use prawn, you can use beef, you can use turkey. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes chicken is just the easiest thing to use. So it's completely up to yourself what meat that you want to put into it. So I have one chicken breast here, and this is going to serve one person. So obviously, if you're going to serve 3 or 4, you just multiply the quantity. So I have one chicken breast here, and we're going to be marinating that up with some lovely Asian flavors as well there, including some garlic, some ginger, some fresh coriander, a little bit of soy sauce, and then I'm going to add in a little bit of maple syrup, and I mean just a tiny little dot of maple syrup, just to give it that little sweetness. So it's almost like sticky skewers. And then again, when it comes to the veg for the egg fried rice, it's whatever's in your fridge. After the weekend, if you have, like, you know, I'm going to use today just a carrot, I'm going to use red peppers, excuse me, I'm going to be using some munch too as well, just these nice little lads here. Or, you know what, some green beans, some broccoli, some courgettes, some onions, mushrooms, whatever you have in there. It's perfect to use for this as well. And then it's showing you how to make really speedy homemade egg fried rice. And there's nothing like it. It tastes nothing like your takeaway. It's absolutely lovely. So fresh, so easy to make. And yeah, if you have kids in the house that love cooking as well, get them involved with this, because honestly, they could manage this from start to finish. So we're going to get going on this. So what I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to marinate my chicken, okay? So we're going to just get together the marinade for that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in with about 1 tablespoon of our soy sauce. So just into a bowl with that. And into that then we're going to be adding some lovely fresh ginger and some fresh garlic as well, okay? So I'm just going to break apart 1 garlic clove. I'm just going to take the skin off that. Just move some stuff out of the way here. And again, just pressing down on it with the back of your knife just to take off the skin. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop that really, really finely. But again, as I always say, is if you don't like chopping, or perhaps, you know, you kind of find it just too tedious, is using a really fine grater is just as easy as well, or a garlic press if you have one of those. So I'm just going to flatten that down with the back of the knife, and then just going to slice that lovely and thinly. And that's going to go straight into our marinade. We just want that nice thin little bits. Okay, so straight into our bowl with our marinade. And then into that as well, we're going to go with some lovely fresh ginger as well. Now, I absolutely love fresh ginger. It's one of my favourite spices. So it also as well is phenomenally good health-wise as well. Very anti-inflammatory as well. Very good for the digestive system as well. So we're just going to peel off the outer layer of the skin on this, and then I'm just going to pop it, just going to cut it into nice fine little bits, and I'm going to add that to the marinade as well. So we're just going to get rid of those little bits here, and then I'm just going to slice down the ginger lengthways. Now you can as well on this one as well. I'm not going to stop you grating this as well, just to stop those bits. But I'm just going to very, very finely slice it, and then I'm just going to go back over it and really finely dice it with the knife. So you're really not going to get any little chunks of ginger whatsoever. Okay, so we're going to pop that in. So that's about as I would say, about a thumb-sized piece, and then just peel off the outer layer as well. Right, into this, a little bit of our black pepper, and we're going to go in with a little tiny bit of salt as well, just a little pinch of our lovely pink salt. And then into that as well, I'm going to add in a teeny little bit of some maple syrup. Now you can as well just use a honey as well, a little bit of honey. And again, that will just give that little sweetness. And then I'm also just going to add in a little bit of chopped coriander as well over here. So I'm just going to take a few leaves of this one. And with the coriander as well is, feel free to use the stalks because there's lots of flavour in the stalks as well. So I'm just going to give this a very quick wash onto the sink. Just if your herbs are outside, guys, is always make sure just give them a little bit of a rinse because you don't know what's crawling over them in the garden. So we're just going to give this a bit of a finely chop, and then that's going to go into our marinade as well. So straight in with that. So you've got all those lovely Asian flavours in there. And again, if you like it with a bit of heat in it, by all means, feel free to whack in a bit of fresh chilli there or a bit of dried chilli as well. So you can see there is I have just mixed that together, and that is smelling absolutely wonderful in there as well. So I'm just going to add another tiny smidgen of our soy. Give that a bit of a mix around, and that's great. Now, into that, what I'm going to do is I have one chicken breast here, and I'm going to make them into quite sort of chunky bits to go on the skewers so that they're all cooking evenly as well, but at least you get a good bite of chicken in each mouthful. So I'm just going to cut off the little stringy bits on the outside, get rid of those, nobody wants those, and then straight down the middle, and then I'm going to cut each sort of length here into about 4 or 5 bits. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is plenty, okay? And the same with the other side. That's great. Okay, so that's going to go straight into our marinade. And then what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to get rid of this board. I'm just going to give my hands a quick wash. So begin back in 1 second. Right. So we're just going to give our chicken a good stir around to mix all those gorgeous flavours. I'm going to show you in a second. And ideally, when you're doing this at home, is do it, leave it in the fridge maybe for about 1 hour to 2 hours and let those flavours really seep into it. But obviously, we don't have that time today, so we're going to be cooking a bit quicker. So again, it's just making sure that chicken is really fully marinated. So if I just show you there, you will see all those flavours, the garlic, the ginger, the coriander and everything. Absolutely lovely. Another little twist as well on these is, if you fancy, is a little bit of lime juice as well, or a little bit of lime zest in there as well. Gives a real zing to the dish as well, and it tastes really, really lovely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to crank them up and pop them on skewers, okay? Excuse me. So as I say, if you're at home, you would have had that marinating for about 2 hours before you thread that on, okay? So we'll just get them on now. And what I'm going to do as well, simply because I love the colour on it, is I'm going to add a little bit of chopped pepper onto it as well. And again, we're going to grill those with the chicken on skewers, and it just adds a lovely bit of flavour, but also a nice bit of colour there as well. So if we just take down one side of our pepper and just cut off a few nice little bits. Okay, nothing too big. Take another little bit here. And we're just going to thread those on. Now, we're just going to ourselves a baking tray. And I just have a little bit of baking paper on there just to stop it sticking as well. So get yourself your bamboo skewers, okay, or even your stainless steel barbecue skewers, whichever you like. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a piece of chicken, and then we're going to go with a piece of pepper, and we're just going to continue that along. So what we worked out there was about 4 chunks of chicken per skewer, and so that would be about 4 chunks of pepper as well. So again, a great way of sort of getting upping your veg intake as well by doing things like this. and adds a lovely flavour to the peppers as well. So just going to pop on, we need 4 on there. So just going to pop 1 more bit of chicken on there. And you've all those lovely, gorgeous flavours. And we just stick a little bit of our pepper on the end. Now, pop that down onto your baking sheet there, and we're just going to repeat it again with the other end as well. So as I say, if you're cooking with kids, this is a great way of getting them sort of involved in the cooking process as well, and takes a bit of the workload off yourself. So just push them down. Just make sure as well that you're not overcrowding the chicken, and that it's not on top of each other, because you want to make sure that it does definitely cook properly as well. So we're just going to push that down a bit. And another bit of chicken on there. Another bit of pepper. And the last bit of chicken. So you've all that lovely garlic and ginger bits on there. It's just lovely. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that extra marinade into our veg and our egg fried rice as well. So I'm just going to give my hands a very quick wash. And what I have done is I have preheated my grill to high, and I'm going to pop them under the grill then for about 4 minutes per side, and that should be them. So we just pop them under, and we set the grill there for 4 minutes, just to make sure you don't forget about them. Now, while they're cooking we're going to get on and make our egg fried rice, but I'm going to be adding in some lovely finely chopped veg as well in this. Again, just to give a little bit of crunch, give a little bit of texture as well in there. So I have some of my red pepper here, and I'm just going to dice down finely the leftover red pepper there. I'll take another little bit of it. Just nice small little bits. We'll put them to one side. And then what I'm also using as well is the munch too as well, but I'm going to actually chop it down nice and finely. So I'm just going to take a handful of them, and I'm just going to slice them on the diagonal, just into nice little bits. Okay, so we're taking another couple of those. And these are lovely. There's a lovely flavour to them. But also as well, it's a real crunch to them. You don't want to overcook them. You want them to keep that lovely crunch in there as well. So get rid of the rest of those. And then also as well is I want to add another little bit of texture there. So I've just got 1 carrot, and I'm just going to take the bottom off it, and I'm going to take about half it. And what I'm going to do with that is I am just going to cut it on the diagonal, really tiny, small little slivers of slices. Okay, so again, that's just adding, again, a bit more veg in there, a bit more taste as well, and a bit more texture. Okay, so our pan is heating up nicely, and I'm just going to go in with a little bit of our coconut oil now to sort of grease the bottom of the pan. We need a little bit now in here. So pop that in there. Let that melt away there. And what I'm going to do really is I'm going to basically just gently fry off the veg here for probably about 2 to 3 minutes, just until we're really just taking that sort of hardness out of the veg. I'm then going to take it out of the pan, and I'm then going to do my egg fried rice as well. So the whole thing will come together nice and quickly. So it's one of those teas where on a Monday night, if you're doing it, is you could have tea, you know, it's very sort of rustically chopped. Is you could have tea cooked or prepared and cooked and all on the dinner probably in about 20-25 minutes. So in we go with our munch too, and then we're going to go in with our peppers as well. And just give everything a good mix around there. Now, as I say, this is going to cook in no time at all, because your veg is cut so small and you don't want it very soft and soggy. We're just going to give it a couple of minutes in there. So I'm just going to go in with a little grinding of our black pepper. And I'm not going to add in any salt at this stage, because I'm adding soy sauce, and the soy sauce can be quite salty. So again, we just want to make sure that the whole dish doesn't come out tasting really, really salty. So the lovely colours in this as well, and that's what I absolutely love. Okay. And then while that's cooking is, I have just got myself about 100 grams of egg fried, 100 grams of whole grain brown rice, and that's just already cooked. Excuse me. And that is just going to be going back into the pan very briefly to make up our egg fried rice. So if you have leftover like packet of rice, or even if you've cooked rice maybe a day or two ago and you've a little bit left over, this is a brilliant dish even for its own for a lunchtime snack as well. Because you've got that egg in there, you've got the protein in there balanced off with your carbohydrates. So again, it is a really good balanced dish, and it'll keep you nice and full for the afternoon as well. Goes lovely with a few small prawns as well, or even king prawns in there. Absolutely lovely. Now, I'm just going to turn over the chicken and just let it cook on the other side. So this is looking absolutely lovely. Pop that in there. I'm just going to turn these over now nice and quickly. Again, don't forget your veg over here. Keep giving it a stir. So for our chicken, we're just going to lift them, turn them over, making sure that we're getting the other side cooked as well. Okay, they are looking fab. Okay, I'm just going to pop those back onto the grill for about another 4 minutes. And I would say to you as well, get in the habit of setting your timer on those things, otherwise your chicken can end up very dry and overcooked. Okay. So these are looking great. I'm just going to take these out and pop them in a bowl for now. So you can see all those lovely, still those lovely bright colours because we barely even cooked the veg. Okay. And then put your pan back on. Add another teeny little bit of coconut oil or olive oil in there. And this is the bit now where you kind of need to be quite quick. Okay? So we're just going to let, we have our veg there, you can see. Beautiful colours. With just a little bit of oil in the pan. And when we go in now with the egg, we're basically going to crack the egg in and scramble it really, really quickly, okay? And we want it so that the egg is broken up into millions of bits, okay? So you're going to get yourself a whisk, any size you like. You've got your egg, really hot pan, and then we're just go straight in, and as quick as just start whisking, okay? And just making sure you're getting all those bits off the bottom of the pan. And you want it so that, you know, it's going to cling together as it's cooking. If you keep whisking it, you're basically breaking it up into millions of little small bits. And I'm going to show you now, once this is cooked, it literally takes about 30 seconds, so don't take your eye off the pan or you're going to end up with an omelette. That's it. Now, if I just show you this here, you can see it's literally just like a scrambled egg. So again, just making sure it's nicely broken up. Now, back in with your veg, straight back into the pan. Mix it round throughout all of the egg bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in now with just our normal, ordinary cooked brown rice. So straight into the pan. That's about 100 grams will do one person. So 100 grams of cooked rice. And then just at the back of your spatula, it's just breaking it down to make sure that it's not sort of sticking together in lumps as well. So this is lovely. Okay. Now, let that rice sort of cook and heat as well, okay? So you need to be very, very careful when you are reheating rice as well, is that there is a bacteria in it. And when it's not, or when it's reheated again after already being cooked, you just need to make sure it's cooked to a very hot temperature to kill off that bacteria as well. Okay, so I'm just going to let that cook away there. And then into that, I am going to add the remainder of the marinade from the chicken. Now, the reason I'm able to use it this way is because it's still going to cook in here. You wouldn't obviously be using this to pour over, you know what I mean, chicken once it's cooked, because you've marinated the raw chicken in there. But because I'm popping it straight into the pan, then I know it's actually getting cooked again here, okay? So just be careful of that. If you are marinating your meat, or your fish in it and there's leftover marinade when you take it out, please do not think to yourself, oh, we'll drizzle it over at the end because you'll probably poison somebody. Okay. This is lovely now, the colours in this. And I'm just going to try a little bit just to make sure that it doesn't need any more seasoning. So that's obviously the most important thing. Lovely. I'm going to add another little bit of our soy sauce into it. Just let that rice keep heating up as well there. And you've got all those beautiful colours of the peppers and the mange too, and carrots and all. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm just going to take a very quick look at our chicken just to see if that's ready to come out. And we're just going to give our chicken about another 30 seconds, and then that's going to be ready to come out from underneath the grill, okay? So what we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to start to serve up our rice now, and then get our chicken skewers onto it as well. So this is tasting gorgeous now. Gorgeous. Right, I'm going to turn that off, and then what I'm going to do is just get rid of a few little bits here while I get a nice clean plate. And you can see how quick and how sort of speedy that is without any fussing or any sort of, you know, massive amounts of preparation as well. And that is key, is you want stuff that's easy. Grab it out of the fridge, chop a few bits as well. You don't want to be spending hours in the kitchen, but you can see how easy it is to actually create those dishes, so like without too much preparation as well. Now, let's take our chicken out. Leave that there for one second. And I am just going to spoon on a little bit of our egg fried rice here. So again, you've got all this lovely colours as well. Just on there. And I'm going to add a little bit of fresh coriander over the top as well. Okay, so I absolutely love the flavour of the coriander as well. And it adds lovely colour as well at the end. So I'm going to get a good man-sized portion here, guys. But you can see sort of that lovely sort of healthy colours and all to it. And again, as I said, the egg fried rice, when you're making it yourself, is you can control how salty it is. You're controlling all the flavours in there, but getting a good quality soy sauce, you know, adding in some nice fresh ginger, some garlic, all of that just creates beautiful flavours. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop the chicken on now. And again, is because we've cooked the chicken onto the grill, the skewers and the peppers and all are nice and charred, and they've got that lovely sort of flavour out from the charred as well. Now we'll pop this one here. So you can see how quickly, I'm going to show you that up to the camera, just so you can get a good view of what that looks like. So I'll just show you that side as well. And you get those lovely kebabs as well. So that is so simple just to make on a Monday night, where, you know what, is that even if you don't have chicken or turkey or prawns or anything like that in the fridge, you can still rustle up even a vegetarian egg fried rice as well. And again, it's going to be balanced because you have the eggs in there, so that's your protein in there. But again, it's just adding in, if you fancy, as I say, is, you know, kicking a bit of heat into it, pop in a nice, you know, sort of finely chopped red or green chili in there. Or even as you're, at the end, as you're sort of doing the egg fried rice at the end, a quick squeeze of sriracha hot sauce. And again, as that gives that heat as well. Yes, it's not authentically Asian or not authentically egg fried rice, but you know what? It does add a bit of flavour there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the link up there as well after the video. I'm going to pop up the link in the comments underneath. So you have your recipe there and all now up on screen. But I'm going to pop a little link up there to my website, goodfoodnutrition.co.uk. Loads of lovely recipes up there for you to try as well. Nice, speedy recipes as well. And also as well is I'll pop the link up there to my closed Facebook group, which is called The Fabulous Foodies. So if there's any ladies out there who's watching today and has enjoyed it as well, and maybe just wants to get a bit more tips and ideas on health and well-being as well, as my Facebook group, The Fabulous Foodies, is a closed group specifically for women. and for women's health and well-being as well. So there's loads of tips and ideas and advice in there as well. So if it's something you're interested in, I will stick the link up underneath the comments box as well on today's video. And feel free to click in and ask to join as well. So guys, that is, I'll lift it up there to show you again, that is my Asian chicken skewers with egg fried rice for a really delicious, speedy Monday night supper. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.